Good morning, Raiders, and welcome to the Cedar Ridge High School Library. So, today we're going to do a little bit of research and we're going to use some databases. Now, I know you guys are thinking you do research all the time because you search Google or Wikipedia. While that might be okay for some things, it's really not okay for legitimate research purposes. And also, when you guys go to college, Google and Wikipedia are not accepted sources of research. So today we're going to look at the library research page, and we access that simply by going to the library's webpage and go under Library Tools. And you have a drop-down menu. You simply want to select the Research Resources page. Now, some of you who've already done some research with your classes know that we have a portal called Mac and Via, which you can use to search all of the or access all of the databases from one central point. But you also have a list here of all the databases. I just think it's easier to use the Mac and Via. So we're going to access the databases via Mac and Via. This way you only have to type in one password and one login. So when you get to the Mac and Via page, which is simply macandvia.com, as you can see here, if you want to just type that in instead of going to the library's webpage, and you type in school name, which is Cedar Ridge High School, and what happens is once you start typing, let me just black this out, so delete it so you'll see what happens. So once you start typing, you'll see it, oops, you got to spell correct. You'll see a list of schools. Cedar, oops, spelled that wrong. Pop up in your menu. So we see Cedar Ridge High School right here in Round Rock. That is us. And so we select that. Your user ID and your password are really simple. So for the students, you will have an S instead of an E in front of your 6-digit student ID number. And that's also going to be your password. So once you've input that information and your school is set to Cedar Ridge High School, click on Login. Once you get to login, you will know that you're actually logged into this database because you see your name here. It says, Welcome Angela. That would be me. If it says somebody else's name, then I am not logged in properly. So we can access different resources from Mac and Via. We can access ebooks, databases, and audiobooks. So today we are doing research, so we want to access databases. There will be other video instruction for you on how to access the ebooks and the audiobooks. So let's click on our databases tab, and what you're going to see is you're going to get a list of all of the databases that were listed on that previous page I told you about, but it's just a little bit easier to access, and they are listed in alphabetical order. So this is going to be biography research. Gale databases, or the Gale group, sponsors, or I guess produces a lot of resources that are subject specific. And one that they do in particular is called Biography in Context. A lot of times you do have to look up information on historical figures, whether that be health sciences, literature, history. And this is just a really good resource to use. So again, you don't have to type in another password. All you simply do is click on Open Now. And it opens another window for us in the Biographies in Context. So what you see, this is just your basic home page. First thing we want to do is just a basic search. We can type in someone. So I've thought about this and thought about who might interest you. And because you guys are a younger generation than Miss Hall, you like to look up pop stars, entertainers. And so when we've been in classes doing research, a few of the names that you guys throw out there are Beyonce, Jay-Z, Adam Levine. And so I'm going to just throw out one of those names for you today and just see what kinds of information we come up with. So when I type in her name, and I spelled that wrong, when I type in her name, you get a list of all the Beyoncés that are listed in this database. So this is the one that I do want. I could look under Beyonce Knows, but I'm pretty sure that's going to give me the same information. Now, it takes us to a page about Beyonce Knowles specifically. It gives us brief biographical information here. We can click on this View More to see more information. Just kind of listing some of the things about her career, um, awards, and that type of thing. Early life, how she got started. And if you didn't know, her father was initially her manager when the group started. And they've also gone through a lot of changes, and she now has a solo career. So she's a wife and a mother. So let's scroll back up to the top of her page. And let's just click on our back button right here to go back to that main page for Beyonce, because I want you to see there's just tons of information out here. So basically what we've got 10 articles or resources that talk about Beyonce Knowles. Then we've got reference resources specifically. So these are the resources that are going to be your more accredited type programs. Now, you've got magazine resources, you've got news resources, and you've got academic journals even, okay? So, because we've been talking for a little bit, I'm going to take a break here and let you guys play around with the database, and then we're going to come back in the next video and we're going to delve into the biography and context a little bit more. So stay tuned.